H-Town Sports. We bike.
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work, work. That's what I say. Hard work, work, work. Earn more pay. Hard work, work. Hard work, do it every day. Hard work, work. Get up out of 2:45. Hard work, work. Ready to go and earn more pay. Hard work, work. Boots on and lace.
Hey, give me a second. Hold on 1 second. Hey, what's going on, y'all? You tuned to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Hold on, let me fix this microphone. Here we go. Here we go. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Because you know we do everything for the gram. And make sure you are subscribed to the Locked On Texans podcast, the Locked On Texans YouTube page, and the Big Sarge Media YouTube page. What's going on, y'all? Good morning. Good morning, Alexis. You just started up some stuff yesterday by speaking to me. Corey had his feelings all hurt. What's up, BG? Better late than never, huh, Big Sarge? No, I said 9:45. I said 9:45. Huh, exactly. Not on CP time either. Not on color people time. I'm on time. What up, Jalen? Laro, what's going on, man? Good morning, Miss Fisher. Dre. Yeah, hey, follow Marcus on the gram. Hey, what is it? Hey, don't be putting up no signs either. You know what I mean. You're right. He will be. Hey, look. Hey. Alexis is like, yeah, I would be afraid of her too. She's such a gentle giant, though. She's such a gentle person. She ain't gonna hurt you unless you mess with her. Or you freaky Zeke Deaky or whatever that dude name was yesterday. What's going on? D Skills. Don't follow me on the gram. You'll be bored as hell. Hey, one day we're gonna have a talk about these algorithms. One day we're gonna talk about these search algorithms of some of the people on Instagram. I know some of them is filthy. Y'all give me a second to fix this microphone. Some of those are filthy. Now, and what I mean by filthy is looking at fitness models. You know how y'all be looking at fitness models? Y'all got it right. Hold on, I'm just getting the good mornings in there. Hello, yes, ma'am. How you doing? You know, I asked your son to bring me a plate. He ain't bringing the plate. He didn't bring me the plate. I'm so nice. Just don't come from my friends, family, or speak wild about the Texans. Exactly. Now, let me stop right here before we even get this thing started because what's up, frat? So you see what Tony's doing. Tony has an 06, right? So on December 4th, 1906, 7 brothers decided to start the first Greek lettered fraternity for Ethiops, which is for blacks, right? For African Americans, right? And the name of the fraternity is Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Today is the Alpha's Founders Day. We are the oldest and the coldest fraternity ever. I have no disrespectful things to say about other fraternities at all, period, unless you say something about ours. But I don't have anything to say of disrespectful. I just want us to be able to enjoy our day, right? December 4th, 1906 was the day that Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was started by our 7 jewels. And so we are celebrating that anniversary today. I am a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Eta Gamma Chapter, Fall 98. Shout out to my line brothers. Resurrection, that was our line name. I love all my frat brothers out there. I love all my line brothers. Now, we don't all get along. Let's get that. It's like every other family. You got family members you like, and you got family members you don't like. So everybody that wear these letters across the chest, I don't like them. I love them. I respect them, and I'm going to have their back. Unless they do something immoral or criminal. That's a fine line I can't walk. But today is our day. That's why I have on my letters today. And hey, listen, I am proud to wear these letters. I am proud to wear these letters. And what I went through to get them, one day we'll discuss it. One day we'll discuss some of the things that I went through to get these letters. And if I had to do it all over again, going on 53 years old, if I had to do today what I did when I was 26, I'd do it all over again. Without a shadow of a doubt. All over again. Me and my line brothers are celebrating 26 years in the fraternity. So I love it. 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 A Phi, A Phi, A Phi, deep in my heart. I love this is my show. This Sports Talk with Big Sarge. I can do that. Happy Founders Day, frat. Sarge, you got to start the Patreon soon. I got some things I need to get off my chest. Hey, the Patreon is coming. I'm telling you right now, the Patreon is coming. Tried to troll Deke yesterday, but couldn't find them. What's good, Corey? Hey, me and Corey are gonna film some content together at Walmart. I'm gonna try one of them Walmart wings, but if I get sick, I'm saying it right now so it can be documented, so we can get Corey, so I can sue him civilly. I was in Arizona. He spent Thanksgiving with his brother. Okay. My daughter's graduating next week. Hey, congratulations. That is a big time achievement, and hey, that's just a big time achievement. AC, Adrian Carter? If we talking about Adrian Carter, okay, then yes. Good morning, Amy. All right, let me stop right here. Right now, y'all disregard the San Francisco logo. I mean, I just called him on yesterday and told him how the 49ers are trash. Like Bubba Dub say, trash. I just talked how bad the 49ers was I said on yesterday. Somebody may watch this show on Saturday. They're going to think it's Friday. On Tuesday, this is my bestest friend in the whole wide world outside of my wife. Like, this is my bestest of the bestest friends. I've been knowing him since 1985. Excuse the fact that he's a San Francisco 49ers fan. They're garbage, hot trash. And I made sure that I opened up our phone call on Tuesday telling him that, because he would do the same thing, because he hates the Cowboys like I hate the 49ers. So we have this back and forth. But you see right there, it's spring 98, right? And he's talking about spring 98 as far as being a part of the Eta Gamma chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And he's one of the reasons why that I am fall 98. Don't tell him that I'm saying this, but we the better line. He know. There's some things that him and I discuss, and we're going to discuss later on today. He know who got the better line. He know fall 98. He know resurrection. Don't worry about it. Hold on. Family members don't get along. Don't say things. Thank you. What's going on? Hello. What it do? Oh, yeah. These skills all the time. All the time. But it's in a scrum, so I don't get mad at them. No, Walmart wings do not go hard. The ranch wings. No. I was supposed to go to PV, but my older brother messed that up for me. I already know. I already know. Hey, Joe, look. My old church was crossover for a lot of people. Yes, we know AC. Yes, AC. So AC and Joe, they're line brothers. And both of them pledged me. So yes, AC, like me and AC are like we super cool. Like AC, my brother. So yes, exactly. Fake news. You know what, Joe? We'll probably, you know what? Come January 6th is coming, so you could use that. You could use that. Hey Corey, that's the real question. Ranch or blue cheese? Y'all got to be in this group chat. All right, y'all. Walmart wings might put you on the toilet and out of commission. Exactly. What's going on? Huh? See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I know AC, man. AC, that's my brother, man. I need to call him today. I'm trying to get with him. So me, him, and Joe can all go hang out together. All right. Once again, tune into the Sports Talk with Big Sarge Show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. On today's show, we're going to have Jonathan Alexander from the Houston Chronicle join us and talk some Houston football, some Houston Texans football. I want to talk about the bye week, the D'Amico Ryans and Nick Caserio comments about the Azeez Al-Shaair. Well, it was a suspension when Nick talked about it, but D'Amico Ryans defended him. And then I'm give an outlook for the rest of the season. We're going to talk about how Houston Texans general manager Nick Caserio gained more fans by defending linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair, and for his moves that he made in the offseason. I'm sorry, y'all. My mind ain't go blank. But I will say this. I will say this. My mind didn't go blank, but I got to get to this because this has been on my mind since yesterday. So I told y'all we was going to talk about this. So we're going to talk about this right now. So I told you all Monday, I was in the gym, right? So there's this man who comes to the gym regularly like I do. I see him all the time. You know, we converse all the time. I don't even know his name. So, and I'm not good with names. I'm great with faces. That's why when I was in the Army, I love that they put our last names on the side right here so you could be able to see. So you can see their rank, you can see their name. I am not good with names. I'm great with faces, though. I am great with faces. I could be somewhere, I'll be like, hey, I know this person. I may not remember their name. I know their face. So a young man that goes to the gym with me, that's at the gym. I don't know his name. I just know his face. So we talk all the time. So we talk, hey man, what you doing this weekend? How's the family? You know, old people talk. So I asked him on Monday. I said, hey man, how was your Thanksgiving? How was your Thanksgiving? He said, man, it was really good. He said it was really good. Me, my wife, her ex and his girlfriend and the kids all took a trip. Come again, say what? Now, I hope I'm not going to disrespect anybody, and I hope don't nobody get mad. Please don't get mad at me, but okay. Please don't get mad at me, but I got to say it. So, as you all can see, if you can't tell, I'm black, right? So, whatever politically correct term you want to use, African American. However, I have melanated skin, right? I'm black. The young man I was speaking to is white or Anglo-American, whatever politically correct term. I don't want to not be politically correct, and I don't want to offend anyone. But I'm just saying, I'm black, he's white. He says, me, my wife, her ex, and his girlfriend took the kids out of town on a trip. So me, being a black man who ain't used to that type of stuff, looked at him and said, well, how did that work out? He said, I mean, I enjoyed the trip. I don't know if I enjoyed the company too much, but they co-parent, and so they decided, hey, let's go together and take our son on a trip together. And I just said, okay, all right. You taking your son on a trip together, huh? Y'all took a trip together. You, your wife, not your girlfriend, not your side chick. You and your girlfriend. You and your girlfriend. That wasn't the thing. Not you and your girlfriend. You and your wife decided to go on a trip with her ex-husband and his new girlfriend and the kids. I'm just gonna say something right now, y'all, and we're gonna get to our guest in just a second. And this the thoughts, views, and opinions expressed on the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show is Big Sarge's and Big Sarge's alone. I'm just gonna give you that disclaimer real quickly. And like I said, we're gonna get to our guest. I want to say this, and then after our guest, and before we get to more sports, I'm coming right back to that. I'm coming right back to this. I don't know too many black people that do that. Yeah. I don't know too many black people that's gonna do that type of stuff. Co-parenting is one thing. If you co-parent with somebody, that's amazing. That's great. My biological daughter, me and her mother, we were not good at co-parenting as far as being able to get along. So we ain't taking no trips together. No, nowhere. So, and I don't have no disrespectful things to say about her. We just as an adults don't see eye to eye. So I'm not gonna disrespect her. I ain't taking no trip nowhere. And I promise you, without a shadow of a doubt, my wife right now would never, ever, 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 because she hates her ex-husband, but she would never ask me, hey, can we take a trip with her ex? What? Let me tell you something. No man, I can't speak for women. I can only speak for men. Even though I'm pretty sure some women are going to agree with me when I say this. Hey, no man wants to be reminded of an ex of anybody that they're with, especially if she your wife. If she your wife, you don't want no reminder of no other man being with your wife. It's bad enough if they got kids, you know that they've been together, right? They ain't got no kids. You be like, okay. But you got constant reminders if they got kids on what has happened. So no man really wants that, but I get it. I got it. I understand. But I don't understand. I don't know no black people doing that either. I'm just saying, if it's some black people that do that, drop it in the comments. Let me know. But for a man, and I know how men think, and I know how the majority of the men think, they don't, because the only thing that they can picture in their mind is this man sleeping with with your wife. I couldn't do it. I'd be like, oh no, y'all, you know what? Do whatever y'all need to do to make y'all feel happy. I am not involved in this. And when you come home, I'm probably not gonna be there. I cannot do it. The mental fortitude that it takes, I don't have the capacity to be able to, I can't process that. After our guest, I'm gonna tell you how I'd like to welcome to the show Jonathan M. Alexander from the Houston Chronicle. Jonathan, I'm sorry you had to be a part of that. I tried to start it earlier so you wouldn't get caught up in that. And I'm not going to ask you this question on air. You and I will talk when we see each other again next week. Because I am going to ask you this question offline. Did you hear what I was talking about?
I came in kind of late. You was talking about co-parenting and not getting along with exes.
One of my friends from the gym, him and his wife went on a trip for Thanksgiving with his ex-wife's husband and his new girlfriend.
Oh, that's crazy. I don't know about that. I can do all that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see your point there.
Nah, see what I'm saying?
I'm not doing all that.
Exactly. Well, you and I talk offline about this because I definitely want to, I don't want to spend all the time that I have with you right now talking about that. But Jonathan, look, me and you think alike. Plus, I know your daddy. Like I really know your father, right?
Yeah, you know he old school.
And he ain't playing that. He gonna be like, son, what you doing? Let's just come over here and have a talk. All right, y'all, like to welcome to the show Jonathan M. Alexander. He is the top-notch Texans beat writer, not just for the Houston Chronicle, but Jonathan is up there. Let me tell you all something. So we have a group text, right? It's me, Jonathan, DJ Bienemy from ESPN, Chancellor Johnson from KPRC, and Cody Davis, who used to be in the market, but now he's in Detroit. We have a group text. So yesterday we were just talking about the suspension in the group text. Then Jonathan dropped, yeah, I called the league office and they didn't have a comment. You did what? How do you even get that number to the league office? Yeah, I called the league office, but they didn't have a comment. What? No, Jonathan, I can't do that. But look, and you ain't gotta tell nobody. Look, this just between me and you, all right? This just between me and you. Hey, when you get a chance, can you drop me that number too so I can call too? They'll be like,
I got you. I'll give it to you.
They'll be like, who the hell is this again? Big Sarge. Hold on for a second. Let us look at your
Big Sarge Sports.
let us look at your let us look at your social media. I'll be like, nah, we good. I'm sorry, I called. This is the wrong number. My bad. I was trying to call my partner Joe. Jonathan, let's go ahead and jump right into it, man. Give me your outlook on how the Houston Texans have looked all the way up to the bye week. We know that they're 8-5. We know that they're first in the AFC South. We know that they're one of the top 5 teams in the AFC. But what has been your outlook, your overall outlook on the Houston Texans in the first part of this season?
Yeah, I think they're right about not where we thought they were, because a lot of people thought they'd be a little bit better at this point, but probably where they should be. I still think they're behind the Chiefs and the Bills, even though they beat the Bills earlier this season, and probably on par with the Ravens. They last year they finished 10-7 with one of the easiest schedules in the league, and then you come back this season with one of the most difficult schedules in the NFL, and they've had their ups and downs, and they've lost some bad games. So the game against the Titans was a bad loss. A few others, but I thought that there was some improvement, particularly against the Jaguars, particularly on the offensive side of the football, in scoring second half touchdowns, and that's what they needed to do. I think it's a work in progress. I think they can continue to improve, and it's just a matter of putting together multiple games like they put on, particularly from the offensive side, and then letting the defense cook.
Yeah, John Hickman and I on the Locked On Texans podcast, which, hey, for those of y'all listening, make sure you go subscribe to the Locked On Texans podcast and to the YouTube channel, because we're going to have Jonathan M. Alexander on the Locked On Texans podcast here real soon. This is his first time really finding out about it, but I'm going to tell him anyway. And the Jonathan, with that being said, when you look at the Houston Texans, and like I said, they are 8-5. We have seen some of the deficiencies of the scoring in the second half. And, on Tuesday, I got a chance to ask Nick Caserio about that, and he answered the question, but he deflected a lot. I didn't get a real true answer. But Jonathan, you're one of the people who's boots on ground. You're one of the people who watch every game. You're one of the people who, and what I mean by watch, you don't just watch it on television. You travel to the games, you watch. You got a chance to see them play in Jacksonville, someplace that I'm not going to go in with my recent comments about how terrible the Jacksonville Jaguars organization is. I don't think that it's safe for me to go, Jonathan. So when you look at the Houston Texans second half offense coming out, let me ask you this. When you look at that second half offense, and we talked about Bobby's play calling, we talked about some of the deficiencies that second-year quarterback CJ Stroud has shown, could it also be a point where it's a war of attrition? Jonathan, do you think that fatigue may have set in, especially with the Houston Texans being one of the teams in the league that has been playing football the longest? They started OTAs first. They started training camp first. Do you think that towards the end, fatigue may have caught up with them?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they went 13 weeks straight without a bye week. That's difficult for any team. They were fortunate they haven't had a ton of injuries, but they've had a few key injuries along the way. and have had to kind of compensate for that, particularly with like Stephon Diggs this season and the injury, Nico's injury at one point in the year that hurt CJ Stroud for a time.
Joe Mixon for a time.
Joe Mixon also as well. Yeah, for sure. And when you play that long, the body isn't designed to play that long without a break. But yeah, definitely, I think they were kind of running on fumes, and this bye is coming at the right time for them.
Yeah, and Jonathan, I want to take you back to Sunday's game, and you were there. You watched it in real time. The hit that Texas linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair put on Jags quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and the melee that happened after that, and everything that went along with that. Jonathan, I'm not asking you I'm not going to ask you for your opinion on the hit. I'm going to ask you if you think that the punishment fits the crime with the NFL suspending Azeez Al-Shaair for those 3 games.
So I feel like my opinion on this is kind of the 3-game suspension was obviously a little bit much compared to some of the other suspensions that you've seen around the league and in the past. I thought that they were probably going to give him a 2-game suspension, which they'll probably reduce his suspension upon the repeal today to 2 games. To me, I thought it was a hit that is unfortunate, and obviously it's something that they want to take out the game. So they have to enforce it. They have to penalize him to try to continue to prevent hits like that. At the same time, it's a hit that can happen. I don't think that Azeez was being intentional about the hit. So my gripe, really, and I wrote about this at the Houston Chronicle today, was that the rhetoric around Azeez's hit and the conversation around him has just gone too far.
Yes.
Assassinating his character, calling him a bad guy, Runyon's letter to Azeez, which is in the definition of insanity.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, some of the wording in there, I agree with Nick Caserio in defending him. It was just too much. I honestly believe the NFL reacted to the reaction of various media, of various of the hit, of the injury, of the talk on social media, and then it snowballed from there and affected the suspension. Is why you saw a 3-game suspension, and I think that's an unfortunate part of it.
Yeah, and before we get to Nick Caserio's comments, and we talked about on Tuesday, we talked about the rhetoric in that letter, especially coming from John Runyon. It seemed like such a hypocritical statement that he made. But Jonathan, some of the supporters of the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show was dropping in the comments yesterday about race playing a factor as far as the quarterback hits. Now, I'm not going to say that or elaborate on that, but what I will say is you grew up a Carolina Panthers fan, right?
Yeah, I grew up watching Carolina Panthers for sure.
Yeah, and then you also covered the Carolina Panthers, right?
Yes.
If this would have been a hit on Cam Newton at the time, what would the league have said?
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of Panthers fans will point to the fact that Cam didn't get a lot of calls.
Because he got hit like that in the Atlanta game, right?
Yeah. I think they will definitely point to that. I think Cam was also viewed a little bit differently around the league, and obviously it was unfair to him. He was viewed as kind of as a runner, that was part of his game, and they allowed a lot of things to slide more than they would.
No pun intended.
Yeah. True. Than they would a pocket passer. And I also think the game the NFL has gotten a little bit stricter on those type of hits because they know the backlash and they know the potential ramifications, lawsuits that come with concussions. So they've gotten a little bit harder. So I don't know if I would put those two together, but I do think that you'd have to look at the comments of several players who have spoken out, like Tom Brady, who the rules are designed to protect who said that it's a little bit unfair to defensive players because they have to put the onus on protecting quarterbacks. And I think the important thing lost in this is that Trevor Lawrence is healthy.
Yeah,
and you don't want to see that. It's a fine line of balance. I think my just sole issue was that the rhetoric around Aziz and who he is as a person had just gone too far.
Yeah, I think so too. By putting the man's address out there and assassinating his character and talking about his faith, I thought that was a terrible thing. And Jonathan, I know, and I said this. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I said this in a way. I speak from a place of bias because I have the opportunity to have access to Aziz, so I know him. Not only as a football player, somebody I watch on Sundays, but somebody I talk to on a consistent basis. And you can attest to this too. There's never been a time that Aziz hasn't been, friendly with us. And even after, losses, the only time Aziz hasn't talked to us is if he has to do another speaking engagement or he's injured. And so that's why I don't like the character assassination, which brings me to this. You were sitting front row at the press conference of Nick Caserio on Tuesday. How do you feel about the comments that Nick made as far as defending Aziz and defending Aziz and his character?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think he was on point to defend Aziz. Saying that he was unsportsmanlike and didn't have respect for the game, I thought that just went a step not too much because that definitely insinuates, and I think it adds on to the already vitriol conversation surrounding Aziz. I was looking at the comments under the letter. It just adds on the perception that Aziz is a dirty player when that's far from the case. He doesn't have a history of being dirty. He's been fined a few times, but he hasn't been suspended. You can't go back to his history and say that he was Jon Runyan. So what is Jon Runyan talking about?
Exactly.
So I just think I think what Caserio said was needed. I think Callahan being there was the Texans showing a united front.
Exactly.
That they all stood behind their guy and what he stands for. And look, people make mistakes. I'm sure Aziz probably made a mistake in hitting Trevor Lawrence, but I'm sure he meant no harm in it. And I think that's what they were trying to kind of get across.
Yeah, and I put out a video this morning of a conversation that I had with Aziz. I want to say before the first game, so before the regular season started, when they were getting ready to take on Indianapolis. Actually, it was game week, and Aziz said, I asked him about going up against going up against a quarterback who's built like a linebacker in Anthony Richardson, and he said, I was in Tennessee last year, and I told him, hey, you have to learn how to slide. You have to learn how to get down. You have to learn how to throw the ball away. And he said, that's the same thing that I tell CJ as well. That's why when people started trying to paint him as a dirty player or talk about his character, I'm like, the man who plays the linebacker position, the man who can inflict the most pain on a quarterback, is telling quarterbacks what they need to do to avoid the big hits from him and other players at his position. So I did not like that. I did not like like I said, the character assassination. I loved what Nick Caserio did. I love the fact that Kyle and Hannah was there to show support, not only to Aziz, but to the Texans organization and show that we stand together as a unit. We are an organization who's going to stand behind our players. And I thought that what Jon Runyan said, like I said, I don't think that is his place. And this is how I felt Nick was talking. It isn't Jon Runyan's place to chastise a Texans player. Even though he's part of the NFL, yes, he works in the NFL, but he's employed by the Houston Texans. So you can punish him. You're not going to chastise him. That's the equivalent to somebody trying to chastise somebody else's child. And you say, wait a minute now, I don't talk to him like that. You're not going to talk to him like that. With that being said, Jonathan, I like I said earlier, that linebacker mentality, is that the same thing is that the same thing you thought on Monday when we got a chance to talk to Texans head coach D'Amico Ryans and the things that he was saying about, yes, Azeez, the hit looks bad, but these quarterbacks also got to learn that they're going to have to stop trying to circumvent the rule and slide and get down. Do you think that D'Amico went back into his linebacker mindset when he was talking?
Yeah, I mean, I think he was probably even speaking as a coach and somebody who studies the game. And I think in some respects he was right. There are instances of quarterbacks who slide late. I think for that moment, I think it kind of hurt the moment though, because people were so defensive in that, and they kind of viewed it as D'Amico blaming Trevor Lawrence when Trevor Lawrence was, coming off a concussion. I think it did hurt the moment. And I think it did take Nick Caserio to kind of regroup things, but I think he meant well. I think he was trying to defend Azeez, his player, after seeing all the vitriol that had come about, and he was trying his best. But I think there is something to be said about that the NFL needs to look at better ways to protect quarterbacks when it comes to giving themselves up. Like the slide puts players in a compromised position, whether they slide late or whether they slide on time. When you slide like that, you open yourself up to that hit. And those hits, speaking back to what you had put out about Azeez, Azeez is warning people that, players are thinking about hitting and to commit to a slide in a moment that quick, it can lead to a disaster. It can lead to a hit. I don't think there are a ton of players out here trying to hurt quarterbacks and trying to injure them to the point where they're not playing anymore. So I think there needs to be a broader discussion with the NFL this offseason about how quarterbacks can give themselves up in a way that's more protective.
Yeah, I believe the same thing, Jonathan. And I also said I said this before, and I'll say it again right here. So Houston Rockets head coach Ime Udoka has a saying that he tells his players all the time. He tells them, before you go into any game, KYP, know your personnel, know who you're playing against, know their tendencies, know their habits, know everything about them, know your personnel. And I think that Trevor Lawrence, I don't think he knew exactly who Azeez Al-Shaair was, because when you go back and you look at the play, Azeez has his back turned. When the play starts, when he rolls out of the pocket, Azeez is not even looking at him. Azeez is looking to see what wide receiver is in the zone. Then he realizes that the quarterback is scrambling, and he turns and he takes off. At that point, I don't think that Trevor Lawrence knew how much ground Azeez could cover in that much time. And, people may not know it, but Azeez is fast. He's fast, he's powerful, and he has an aggressive mindset, because think about it. Everything that he's been through in his life, and I just got to say this, I had to preface this by saying everything he's been through his life, fighting homelessness, then, being undrafted, and then D'Amico saying, I want you, and they bring him in. And now you're learning from D'Amico how to play the linebacker position. But remember, he's with the 49ers at the time, and that linebacker core was amazing. And they only know how to play one way. So that's what I mean by the aggressive mindset. So I think when he turned, and I'm not trying to victim blame here, but when you see somebody coming at you at that rate of speed, I know you want to get the first down, but you also got to live to fight another day. You also got to think about, hey, man, I've been injured. I was injured for 2 games. Then we had the bye week. Now I'm coming back. I might want to get down a little bit quicker. So, like I said, I'm not victim blaming, but, from this point on, starting next season when he comes back, I would hope that Trevor Lawrence would KYP the linebackers, defensive backs, the defensive linemen, know your personnel, so you're not put in that same situation again. Jonathan, the last question I have for you, for those of you all who are just joining, we have Jonathan M. Alexander from the Houston Chronicle, one of the best, if not the best, Texans beat writers on the beat. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. For as good as Jonathan is, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna have him around to be able to see him on a consistent basis. I'm gonna have to start texting him. And hey, don't get all Hollywood on me either, because I see Stephen A. Smith about to get a new contract, and he probably gonna change his number. Jonathan, when you go to that next level, when you get to that national level, don't forget about the little people down here that still, boots on ground. And if you need me to, I could be your source.
That's
Anyway, Jonathan, what is your outlook for the rest of the season for the Houston Texans? Coming off the bye week, they played the Miami Dolphins, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Tennessee Titans to end out the season.
Yeah, I really think it depends on where they go from this Jaguars win. Like, do they build off that? Do they find that consistency in the second half? Because obviously that was the biggest problem, right? The second half, scoring touchdowns in the second half. They scored 17 against the Jaguars, and I thought that was a huge plus for them. So can they build off that? Can they use what they did? To me, I think they learned a few things, right? They learned that really Nico Collins is unstoppable.
Yes.
You gotta feed him whenever you're in a critical situation. Another thing they learned, and they've known this, is that the key, they have to run the football well. Mm-hmm. Running the football opens up things for CJ Stroud. It makes things easier. It takes some of the pressure off of him. And then the offensive line is really the key. When the offensive line protects CJ Stroud, they can be a good offense. So if the Texans can consistently do those things, then I think that they can legitimately compete with teams like the Ravens and the Chiefs, who I think are both very flawed teams. The Chiefs are flawed offensively. The Ravens are flawed defensively. I think the Bills have gotten a ton better since their first meeting with the Texans, and I think they are the team right now to beat in the AFC. I still have my doubts about the Steelers.
Yeah.
But aside from those, I think the Texans can compete with the rest of those teams in the division. They just have to put it all together and have the confidence that they had in the second half against the Jaguars.
Yeah, and if they can use that and put that all together, I think that they could, take this next step in, because there is no team, like you said, outside of Buffalo that I can see that the Texans can't compete with. Mm-hmm. and be right there with. At one point I thought it was Baltimore, but they're so helter-skelter and their defense isn't as good as it's been in the past. And you contain Lamar, which is easier said than done. But we've seen the Texans with lesser talent be able to do it last season in that divisional round. Now you have Derrick Henry, but that's somebody that the Houston Texans are also familiar with. And so you have those two. And I'm just talking about Baltimore right now. I mean, if you put Derek Stingley Jr. on Zay Flowers and let him shadow him, everybody else is guardable. So, you look at the Baltimore Ravens, you look at Kansas City, and anytime you have Patrick Mahomes on the field, of course, that anything can happen. We talked about quarterbacks being untouchable and quarterbacks getting away with stuff. He circumvents the rules all the time. Jonathan, before you leave, do you mind taking one question from the comment section?
No, go for it. Come on.
All right. When is Christian Harris coming back? If I'm not mistaken, you asked, didn't you ask?
Yeah, I asked D'Amico.
Oh, you asked D'Amico this on Monday, right? Did you find out anything else about this?
I mean, I had reported about a month ago in one of my mailbags that he was expected to come back after the bye week. Mm-hmm. And I think he's been trending in that direction. I think I think he'll practice some this week, and if he doesn't, I mean, not this week, but next week when they come back. And if he doesn't play next week, then I think he could potentially play the week after that.
Yeah.
I think it just really depends on getting him back at practice and how he responds, and if he's still healthy and how comfortable they feel. But he was always to be on track after the bye week.
And so my thing is, you're bringing him back for 4 games and the playoffs. Jonathan, that's hard to bring him up to game speed. Like, he can come back healthy. He can come back healthy. Let me just say it like that. Healthy. We know what he can do when he's on the field, but he still got to get out there and take those snaps and take those reps. And you're doing it against Miami, who got a track team over there. You're doing it against Baltimore, who has a Mack truck coming out the backfield. Oh, also, you're coming off a lower leg injury, and you got to play against Lamar Jackson. I know he's going to be on a snap count, of course. Then you got Patrick Mahomes and whatever he's going to do. By Tennessee, he should be good, but like that's a lot, right? Throwing him in there. Coming back, your first game is Miami with all of that they have going on over there as far as on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, they wouldn't put him, like you said, they would have him on the snap count. They wouldn't immediately thrust him in. They have enough faith in Neville Hewitt. They run a lot of two linebacker sets, so it will probably be a lot of Neville Hewitt and Henry Toto and rotating with Devin White and Christian Harris. You'll probably see a heavy rotation until he probably gets back into football shape, and then they got to figure out what the rotation looks like when everybody is back together. But they could definitely use him with Azeez being out at least the next 3 games, or at least the next 2 games.
Well, thank you, Jonathan, for joining us today. Like I said, I will ask you the question that I started off the show with when I see you again on next week. Can you tell the people where they can find you, your articles, your socials, your newsletter, especially?
Yeah, so you can find any of my work on HoustonChronicle.com/sports/Texans. Today I had a column about Azeez and how the conversation around him, as well as the NFL's messaging, just went a step too far. Also, social media, John M. Alexander, that's JONM Alexander. And I have a newsletter, Texans Insider newsletter, that you can Google Texans Insider, and it'll be the first thing that pops up. But I appreciate you having me on, Sarge.
Hey, no problem at all. Wait, one second. Hold on. 1 second before you leave, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
You reported on that as well.
On the status of Jalen Petrie?
Yes.
Yeah, I reported last week that he was getting a second opinion. And I don't know the latest on him. I'll check in on that to try to get more.
So they gotta make sure they go to either submit it in your newsletter, submit the question to you, and then you have the answer for them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'll try to get more on that.
All right, man. Hey, look, I appreciate it, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. Enjoy the rest of the bye week. I mean, look, you deserve it as well. Look, like I said, for as long as the Texans have been back, we've been going. And so now it's time, man. You deserve the break. Hey, where the puppy at, man? I ain't heard the puppy all day. You gave him some melatonin.
He knocked out. He sleep.
All right, man. Thank you. Huh?
I appreciate you, man.
Hey, thank you, brother. All right. Once again, that's John M. Alexander from the Houston Chronicle. Corey, what's the question? What's everywhere? What was everywhere, Corey? What's your question? Hold on. Thank you, John M. Alexander. You the man. Keep doing what you do, bro. Yep, I'll make sure that I let him know that. Hey, I'm gonna get back into these comments in just a second. But what's the question? Wait, these skills. Wait. You like, oh yeah, Texas. All right, Nick Casario. Whoa, D'Amico Ryan. Woo, what the outfit's gonna look like? That's cool, but I need to get back to this white swap. Okay, Corey, because you my man, 50 grand and all, and I don't know if you like rancho blue cheese. That's another story for another time. Ask me the question and let me see if I can answer it for you, because I may be able to answer it for you as well. I like to give my guests, though, the opportunity to, but I got some sources and some boots on ground as well. So I just see, about that Thunder State. Oh, hold up, man. Hold up. Hey, they call me Mr. Nobody. Hey, boy, I got some Tatum U stories. Gator and Machiavelli? I got some stories. I got Stacy, Freaky Rafiki, Deuce. Come on, man. Look, even my one of my best friends who passed away, his cousin Will, it went to it plays that Tatum U. So yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, I do know. I do know. How come you ain't ever told me you was frat? Hey man, hit me up at Big Star Sports with a Z on Twitter, man, so we can talk. Hold on. I already asked you want to know about Steve saying D'Amico and Bobby beef. So, okay. All right. Let me answer this real quick, Corey. I'm gonna answer this as if I'm Jonathan M. Alexander. I don't think he would. I wouldn't answer that question. I wouldn't answer that question because I still have to maintain relationships. I still have to maintain relationships inside of the building. Me answering that question of a former player now pits me against the former player when it really, you really, don't have to do it. I'm gonna put myself in the situation. It taking Jonathan away because Jonathan's platform, he's not gonna get into the back and forth as far as the mess is concerned. The pettiness and the mess, but I will. And so, but I'm not going to elaborate on everything that's said by former players because they have a different outlook. Whatever I get sometimes is whatever I get is the version of the person who was there, right? The version from the person who was there or around it. And so, with Steven Nelson saying what he's saying about, D'Amico and Bobby beefing, I cannot say that he's not I can't say that he's wrong because he's been in the building. He's been around D'Amico and Bobby way more than I have. I'm not gonna say he's lying because I don't know what he knows. And that's the same thing Jonathan would have responded with. We don't know what he knows. And outside of asking D'Amico or Bobby personally, which I would never ever ask that type of question because it's a waste of a question to me because I already know what the answer is going to be. And then if I do ask the question offline, then the answer that they give me, the answer that they're going to give me has to stay between us because I have to say it's off the record. Because on the record, they're not going to answer. So Steve is privy to a lot of off the record type stuff. So I don't know what he's seeing, what happened, what was going on. I can't speak to that because I don't know. And I'm pretty sure Jonathan would not speak to that because that's not something that I don't think that needs to be discussed. It's one of those petty type of things. And so, and now you know me, Corey. I'm I'm about as petty as they come. But I also know it's just like, I ain't getting into it. I'm not getting into that back and forth, especially because the first thing Steve can say is, well, you wasn't around when this happened, and I can't say nothing about it. I can't say he's lying because I wasn't there. So that's a hard thing to speak about. If they were beefing or not, I don't know if they're beefing. I honestly and truly have not seen. I want to say 2 weeks ago, last week, Thanksgiving week was the first time I've seen D'Amico and Bobby in the same space at the same time, outside of on the football field. Outside of on the football field, that's the first time I'd seen them in the same room at the same time. and D'Amico was walking out and Bobby was walking in. Because most of the time, D'Amico speaks on Mondays, D'Amico speaks on Wednesdays, and D'Amico speaks on Fridays to us. On Thursdays, the coordinators speak to us. So on Thursdays, the coordinators speak. No, CJ speak Wednesday. Coordinators speak, and then they open up the locker room. So we get Bobby, Matt, and Frank. D'Amico's nowhere around. So, like I said, I can't, I can't ask. I can't answer. I can't answer that because I don't know where Steve was, who he's around, who he talked to, who he's talking to now. He still may have sources in the building. So that's all I'm saying, man. It's like it's not that we don't that I wouldn't want to answer your question, and I can probably speak for Jonathan. It didn't be that he wouldn't want to answer the question. It's just that we don't have all of the information. When I come and I tell you all something, that's because I was privy to that information, either from the person or from a person that was right there in the situation on what happened. I wasn't everywhere. Jonathan wasn't everywhere that Steven Nelson was. And once the locker room closed, that was it. So I don't know if that totally answered your question. I'm just saying that from our perspective, that's something that we can't do. All right. All teams have public facing private realities. I've seen coaches giving headsets that don't work to keep up appearances. You never really know what's going on. That's true. Hey, look, somebody might want to talk about the Cully era. I'm just saying. Hold on. D Skill says, not saying, I don't know why this thing is taking so long. Not saying anything like that is going on at NRG, but things get weird sometimes behind the scenes. Yes, it does. Why do you think 23 Aaron Foster hasn't been put in? Well, 23 Foster hasn't been put in the Ring of Honor. I don't believe any back will break his yards record. Hey, Conscious, I don't know. Well, what's the actual record? And so I think that it's a twofold thing. And then I'll answer this question. We'll get back to the show. I don't think it's anything from the Texans' perspective. I think it's more of Arian. Because when Andre Johnson was honored at halftime after being enshrined into the NFL Hall of Fame, that was the first time. And I've been at NRG since 2017. That's the first time in 7 years I had seen Arian Foster. That's the first time I had seen Arian Foster at NRG. And so, Aaron is eclectic. He's an eclectic individual. And he only wants to be around the people he wants to be around when he wants to be around them. And so Aaron, I think that it's because he has not just been around the organization and the franchise. And I think that if he starts coming back more, because they also, before they can just put him in a Ring of Honor, hey, they also need to talk with him to see if he wants to be in the Ring of Honor. Because now so when I was in the military, right? And most people who've been in the military knows this. They'll tell you, I'm going to use the Army, for example. They'll be like, hey, look, when you raise your right hand to take the oath of enlistment, that means that you are a soldier 24 hours a day, in uniform, out of uniform. It does not matter. No matter if you got the uniform on, if you don't got the uniform on, you are a soldier 24 hours a day, which means that you represent the United States Army wherever you go, in uniform or out of uniform. That's the exact same thing when you get these type of honors, when you get enshrined into the Hall of Fame, when these teams put you in their Ring of Honor. Now you represent the organization as well, because as soon as something happens, then they're going to revert back to that. They're going to revert back to, because they're going to say former NFL player who used to play for the Houston Texans, and then they're going to say blah, 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 blah. On this date, the Houston Texans honored Foster by putting him into the Ring of Honor, blah, blah, blah. So maybe, just maybe, I haven't talked to Arian Foster. I would love to. I would love to talk to Arian Foster, because aside from him playing football, I think that, like, he's very interesting, and he can rap. But he's a very interesting individual that I would love to have a conversation with. And so, Conscious, I hope I was able to answer your question. But like I said, I had not seen him around. And that was the first time I had seen him, and I've been there 7 years. And that was my first time I've ever seen him in public at NRG. So 6,472. Hey, no problem, man. Yep. Hey, that's a lot. Let's see. I had deep thoughts about a Z situation. Nick mentions how the media probably had a huge impact in this decision. Nick gives example how the yep, you're right, Sarah. D'Amico mentions how the Jaguars started the man. They blamed everything to the bottom on Z's that slide to the fight. I think that those press conferences and hope to change the narrative in favor of Z's outlook on his career inconsistent and discipline. Yep, that's why I posted about the inconsistent and used the example Nick gave of CJ. I posted that video too of Quinn Williams and hopes that the Texas Twitter can create a movement to help Aziz appeal. Hey, that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. And that's amazing. Sarah does do a good job. They all do they all do a good job of promoting the Texans. I don't know what goes on in Texans Twitter because I'm not over in Texans Twitter. Texans Twitter can get weird. There's a lot of people over in Texans Twitter that likes to take shots at me about my body, and I'm like, it's really weird that a man keeps commenting on my body, and I'm married, and like you're flirting with me, sir, and I feel uncomfortable. Speaking of, let's get back to our story. Listen, for those of you all who are playing catch up, I'm gonna get to sports. I promise you. I got time today, y'all. I ain't got nowhere to be. So I'm here with y'all. Y'all here with me. It's a bye week. It's a bye week for the Texans. The Rockets are out of town. Like, we're here, y'all. We're here. Let's talk. I'm here. I'm here. Sarge is here. I ain't gotta rush y'all to nowhere. No, I gotta go to the grocery store. I gotta go to the grocery store. And I don't mean Walmart either, Corey. So look, I'm here. Let's talk. That's it. And I'm going back in the comments, y'all. So we gonna be here for a moment. If you got time to spend with me, I got time to give you. So look, let's get back to this thing. So when I was in the gym, right? Let's play catch up. Let's play. Hey, hold on for a second. Mhm. So for those of you all who need to be caught up on the story, so Monday, I was in the gym. I was talking to my friend that comes to the gym as well. I don't know his name. I call him my friend because I see him at the gym like every time, at least Monday through Friday, he's at the gym as well. And so he's there. I don't know his name, but we talk all the time. You know, we just converse all the time, just like two old men do. So I asked him, of course, just like everybody else would do coming off a holiday weekend. Hey man, how was your holiday? How was Thanksgiving for you? You know, what did y'all do? Anything fun? And he said, yeah, me, my wife, her ex-husband, and his girlfriend with the kids decided to take a trip. And then I said, okay, all right, how did that work out for you? And he said, the trip was good. I probably could have done without the company, but you know, it was they co-parent my wife and her ex-husband, they co-parent, and so they decided that taking a trip together, you know, is what was needed. And I'm saying to myself, hey, look, man, first of all, I don't get into nobody's marriage. I don't give married people advice. Mm-mm. No, because that's your marriage, and I don't know everything that entails your marriage. I stay in my own lane. I worry about my own marriage. I got my marriage is hard, y'all. I don't know. I don't know who. Uh, oh, hey, wait. Is I know that means that you're an Omega. Appreciate that. From what chapter though? Because I ain't gonna lie. Well, them PVQs. Them boys get rowdy, but they some of the coolest people you ever want to meet, and they always got your back. They always got your back. No matter if they fought you on Wednesday, if they see you getting into it somewhere with somebody else off campus somewhere on a Thursday, they come to fight too. So, oh yeah, Sam Houston. Oh yeah, them two. They cues are cool too. But so when I asked him, he said I could have done without the I could have done without the company. And then I'm saying to myself, well, one, like black people don't do that because I'm black, he's white. I was like, black people, I don't know a black couple that would do that, male or female, that'll take a trip with their ex like that. Not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm just saying it's not common. Two, hey man, you like I think that there's certain things in a relationship that you can put your foot down about. You can put your foot down about that. Once again, marriage is hard. Marriage is hard. Marriage is hard. It's hard. And I don't see how people can maintain their marriage while trying to maintain other people's marriages as well. Like I said, that's why I don't give advice. Hey, my partners who married, they be having issues. I'll be like, I'll listen to you. I'll listen to you. I can't offer you no advice because my loyalty is to you and not to your significant other. Now, when I say my partners, I'm talking about males and females. Hey man, my loyalty is to you. So I can't offer any advice or offer any advice that you're going to want to hear or any advice that I would want you to take, because if you take my advice and it doesn't work out, then you're going to discuss that with your significant other. Now, me, you, and your significant other can no longer be friends. So that's why I stay out of. So this is why I didn't tell this man, bro. I don't think I don't think that's right. I wouldn't have done nothing like that. That sounds weird to me. That sounds weird to me. I don't want to be around. I don't want to be around none of my wife exes. I'm talking about I don't want to be around her little third grade boyfriend. I don't want to be around her high school sweetheart, which is also her ex-husband and the father of her two children. I'm talking about my wife right now. I don't want to be around none of them. I don't need to know. I don't want to. That's why I never asked the question of how many people you slept with. That's stupid. I don't care. As long as you're sleeping with me right now, I'm cool. In my mind, it's one. We'll talk. Where my little hold on. D skills, I gotta write that down. How many sex partners have you had is lame? All right. Gotta make sure I don't lose that. So with that being said, I'm just like, no man or woman wants to be reminded of the person that their ex slept with. How could you be in the same room with them? Let me tell y'all a story. My late wife, Jamila, had 4 kids from a previous marriage. When I met her, he was nowhere around to be found. She was going through she was separated, going through a divorce, and this, that, and another. But then he found out we were dating, and it just set him off. Now all of a sudden he mad. He want to talk. He want every time we're around. I remember we went to go eat one day in the middle of the day. The kids was at school, and he kept calling the phone. And she was like, "The kids will call you when they get out of school. Right now, I am out having lunch." And now he wants to know who she with, this, that, and other. And so she turned the ring off. He's steady calling because she can't take the phone off, turn the phone off just in case it's a school call. So the phone keeps ringing. So I finally answered. And I was like, bruh, she done told you on numerous occasions that the kids are at school. You want to talk to your kids? Talk to your kids when they get out of school. Don't worry. When I pick them up and drop them off, I'll make sure I tell. When I pick them off and bring them to the house, I'll tell them, hey, your daddy want to talk to y'all. Your daddy been calling all day. He trying to talk to y'all. And then he said the words. He said the words that I didn't want to hear, that set me off, that probably to this day, if I was able to put my hands on him, I wouldn't hurt him bad. I wouldn't hurt him bad, but I let him know. I wouldn't try to I wouldn't try to put him out of a game, but I would hit him. Like, I wouldn't try to give him a concussion, but I damn sure let him know I was there. Some of y'all will get that in a second. Let that marinate. It'll sink in. So I ain't trying to give you a concussion. I ain't trying to hurt you. I ain't trying to put you out of the game. But I also need to let you know, hey, I'm right here, bro, and I'm gonna be here all day. This boy said, "Oh, don't worry about it. Have fun with my sloppy seconds." And then he hung up. And then he hung up. And then he hung up. He hung up the phone. Oh my God, I was so mad. I was so mad. Oh, I was hot because one, I didn't get to say what I wanted to say back. And then two, that was a good day. Look, that was a good comeback. I mean, not a comeback, but that. Hey, look, he got the best of me. Hey, that was good. He said it. Hey, he said it. Hey, enjoy my sloppy seconds. Now, I laughed, but I was mad. But I was like, yo, that was good. And then I started to think about it, like, yo, that's a shot at me. And now I'm thinking, yeah. So as I digress, if those words made me upset, what you think would have happened if I'd have been around? The only thing that I'd have been thinking about, hey, what movie was that? D Skills, Alexis, AD, Corey, Tay. What movie was that? Was that Best Man where Morris Chestnut kept thinking about was that Best Man? That wasn't Brown Sugar. Wasn't that Best Man? Hold on. Was that Best Man where Tay Diggs slept with Morris Chestnut's fiance back in the day, but they never told him, and then they finally told him. Hey, Best Man, y'all remember how that scene kept playing in his mind? Y'all remember how that scene kept playing in his mind? That would be me if I was in the same room with my wife's ex. I couldn't do it. Because then if you doing something and those two ain't around, now in my mind, oh, y'all, what y'all over there doing? Y'all trying to rekindle where they go? Where they go? In the kitchen. What they doing in the kitchen? Who in there with them? They in there by themselves. Oh, hell no. I'm over there. Hey, break this shit up. I don't even get down what y'all talking about. I don't care. You talking about the kids? Cool. Go right ahead. No, bro, I'm in your kid's life too. I'm their stepfather, so go right ahead. Whatever you guys say to her, you can say to me. Like y'all co-parenting and we co-parent too. We co-parent your kids as well. Go ahead, say what you gotta say, my guy. No, go ahead, my boy. No, don't get quiet now. What? So if you ain't got nothing to say now, then what was you saying before I got in here? Y'all was in here reminiscing. See, that's how my mind goes. And so take a trip. I just looked at him like, I feel bad for you, my guy. Like I just looked at him like, I feel bad for you because I don't know none of my partners. I don't know none of my partners that would do that. Wait, hold on. You seen that Shaquille O'Neal meme? Remember when they used to be like, I'll kick your ass. It'd be like, ain't that much kicking in karate? Ain't that much kicking in soccer? Nah, I couldn't do it, y'all. I couldn't. Drop in the comments, and I know that we talked about it earlier, but drop it in the comments now. Could you do it? Could you take a trip with your current significant other and their ex? Could you do it? You think so, these skills? Do you think so? To this day, I don't see how LeBron survived. There's no possible way. But I also don't see how LeBron survived with his mama kissing all his teammates at halftime. Y'all remember it was during what, the NBA finals? And they showed his mama standing in the hallway as they was coming off the court, and she gave everybody that was coming off the court a kiss. It was on the cheek, of course, but like, and I'm saying to myself, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Then again, I don't know how LeBron survived when his mama was dating a rapper, the little young dude. I'm gonna stop saying stuff now because the next things I say will get me in trouble about that situation, especially about the situation with the teammate. Once again, you tuned to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge Show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. All right, y'all, got a couple of more things I need to talk about, then we out of here. Hey, look, I'm going to be honest with you. We started off talking about what I just got through talking about. We had a guest. We went back to it. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I am so happy. I am so happy that I'm here with y'all today. I am not going to lie. Beyond, listen, y'all know I'm honest with y'all. I'm transparent with y'all. I needed this. And if it ain't nothing but one person on here, I'm gonna still do this thing the way that I do it. It could be 1,000, however it goes. This is the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. This is a show. This is our show. This is our show. And I needed this because I ain't tell y'all that earlier in the week I was sitting in the gym on one of the machines and I just started crying because it's that time of the year. I just started crying because I miss my mama. To be honest with you, I miss my mama. I miss my little brother, my middle brother, who passed away when he was 17. And for those supporters of the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show, I'm not finna. That's an old black word right there. Finna. I ain't finna bring the mood down because I'm about to take this energy right back up. I don't want to bring the mood down, but for those of you all who know me, you know that December the 14th is a very significant day in my life. It's the day that I graduated college. My mom got to see me graduate college on December the 14th. My brother, who passed away when he was 17 years old, his birthday is December the 14th, and my mom passed away on December the 14th. So, you know, we're December 4th now. And so I'm getting ready to go into these holidays, and I don't have my family members. You just heard me talk about my late spouse. So sometimes it just catches me. I try to be as strong as I can and mentally tough as I can, but sometimes it just catches me. And earlier this week, it caught me. And when it caught me, I was like, God dang it. It got me and I couldn't stop it. So I was crying while I was lifting weights. It's really weird. I know some people probably looking like, I don't know what Buddy going through, man, but I feel you, dog. I don't know I don't know what Buddy going through, but I feel you, dog. I understand. Yeah, I would have been mad if she made me go on a trip with her ex too. Hey, so I had to talk about the Houston Rockets and the Houston Texans being a Spider-Man meme. Y'all remember I said that? Y'all remember I said they are the Spider-Man meme? Remember I said that? They are the Spider-Man meme. They point at each other. They are the exact same team. They are the exact same team. If you listen to D'Amico Ryan speak on Monday and how he defended Aziz Al-Shire and everything that he said, and you listen to the words that he said and the tone and the manner in which he said, and then you go back and you listen to Tuesday night's post-game press conference with Rockets head coach Ime Udoka, who got ejected because his players weren't getting the fouls called against him, and he let the refs know he was defending his player, and center Alperen Şengün got kicked out, and he came to the press conference, and it's on my page, go see it. It ain't edited either. Go listen to what he had to say. And when I'm sitting at these press conferences, right? And I had to, especially the ones I had to attend in the same day, I'm like, it's like I'm at the same place. When I leave NRG and go to Toyota Center, it's the exact same thing. Player-wise, coach-wise, GM-wise, like they're literally pointing at each other like they are the exact same team. And this is something we've talked about before, but I'm on to I'm going to rehash it, and I'm going to bring it back, and I'm going to talk about it again, because we have talked about this before, but I'm starting to see this narrative go around again, and so I want to bring it back and to put you all in that mindset and mind state of where you can see it as well, because you remember now, the Houston Texans and the Houston Rockets went through 3 years of turmoil before they got to where they are in 2024. Remember that? 3 years of turmoil for the Houston Rockets. Remember during the Steven Silas years, where there was like in however amount of games that they played, and I think they had to be during the COVID year as well. Like the amount of lineups that the Houston Rockets had. Sometimes Coach Silas didn't know who was going to be on his team. And listen, let me tell you something. Coach Silas is a really good coach. And I feel like if he had the weapons that Ime has right now, I think that his tenure here would have been different. Now, him and Ime have two totally different styles of coaching. They have two totally different mindsets. And so, that part about it would have been different. But when you look at the Houston Rockets and what they went through, they had John Wall here, they had Eric Gordon, the way he was at Christian Wood. Like I said, they had 70-something different lineups, it feel like, in one season. One time they signed a free agent. He had to fly from wherever he was into Chicago, then catch a bus from Chicago to Milwaukee and play that exact same night. Man, commenting on your they had to he had to fly in and play that same night. So he's learning plays on the bench while he's learning the names of his teammates. And so they went through a lot. Let's not forget, James Harden quit. James Harden quit on the Houston Rockets. He quit. He said he didn't want to play here no more. Even though he was still under contract, he quit. And so in those 3 years of the Houston Rockets, there was just a lot of turmoil and strife before head coach Ime Udoka got here. And then they went 41-41 last season, almost made the play-in, and their franchise, the franchise turned a corner. And now they're on that road and that path to success. The exact same way with the Texans. They had that coaching carousel. Watson quit. They had different players coming in and out. They weren't putting good lineups on the field. I don't want to talk bad about Davis Mills, but he's not CJ Stroud, but he also had to work through a lot of adversity himself. So, don't get me wrong, Davis Mills has his faults, but sometimes he wasn't put in the best situations. And so hold on. Why? Because she was at the Usher concert? How come he couldn't just get the mother of his child some tickets to the Usher concert? I need receipts. So like I said, the Texans, the coaching carousel, the way that Watson quit, and then he went through his legal issues. He went through his legal issues and his legal troubles, and then there's one silent part that I've talked about before. I didn't go into detail. And I'm not going to go into detail now because we're so far into this show. That may have to be a separate show. Maybe there has to be a YouTube exclusive, because I know I'm going to get some backlash for it. I know I'm going to hear about it. I know it's going to make the fans mad. I know it's going to make the person that I talk about mad, and he's probably going to tell somebody to tell me to such and such and such and such, and I'm not invited to no more of the things. And the only thing I'm doing is reporting the facts and the truth. But I get it though. Hey, look, I got it. And so I talked about Harden quitting, and I talked about Watson quitting, and JJ quit too. And then there are some people out there that say, well, JJ didn't quit. He just asked to be let out of his contract to go to a better situation. Now, JJ quit. JJ quit the exact same way Harden quit, on Zoom. I found out Harden no longer wanted to be with the Houston Rockets officially. I found out officially when he came on that Zoom and said, No, I'm good. I don't want to be here no more. We don't have the talent. I found out that JJ quit on Zoom. When during the press conference, he was like, guys ain't doing this, guys ain't doing that, people ain't doing this, people ain't doing that. Like these franchises mirror each other. Harden quit on Zoom, JJ quit on Zoom. Watson just quit. There's some other factors that went into why Watson didn't want to be here. So I mean, that's another story for another time. But you look at those, you look at those tanking years from the Rockets, you look at those tanking years from the Texans, and look at them now. The Rockets are 15-7, second in the Western Conference, first in the Southwest Division. The Texans are 8-5, first in the AFC South, fourth in the AFC overall. There are two teams that have totally turned the corner and has gotten themselves. That's why the title of this show is H-Town Sports are back on the map. We bike! Not we per se, but if I had to be H-Town Sports, that's what I would say. We bike! They're back. They're back. Both of these teams are teams to watch now. And the way that the franchises are constructed, I mean, Ime Udoka and D'Amico Ryans are the same person. Rafael Stone and Nick Casario, they're the same person. They got star players across the board. Star players across the board on both teams. Young star players that are ready to take that next step to lead the Rockets and lead the Texans to that next level, lead them into, making further deeper playoff runs. And so when you look at them and you say they are, Sarge, you're right. They're the Spider-Man meme. They are the exact same team. They're pointing at each other. They went through the 3 years of turmoil together. They turned the corner, and the first year, which was last season, they both had success. And what they did was they're capitalizing on their success, and they're keeping going right now. Which brings me to this. It's crazy. It's crazy. And look, you're not going to get this everywhere. You're only going to get this on a Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. You're not going to get this everywhere, but you will get it here. And you will get it here because I'm boots on ground and in the locker rooms of both franchises. I talk to the players of both franchises. With the recent criticism and belittling of Aziz Al-Shaair for the hit that he put on Trevor Lawrence, the way that people are trying to paint him now, his character and how he is, and he's this and he's that, and he's a bad person, he's a dirty player. He doesn't, care about the game. He doesn't care about nobody but himself. He's selfish. He's a dirty player. He should be suspended for the rest of the season and then kicked off the Houston Texans. He has a history of doing these type of things. He's a bad person. It's crazy because a lot of that is being said by the people who are not in the locker room. I have a different outlook on Aziz because, like I said, when Jonathan was on, I get a chance to speak with him. None of that. None of that. None of that. That is not his character at all. Does he play with passion? Of course he do. Of course he does. He plays with passion, but that's not who he is as a person. I say that, and I say that to fall in line with exactly what we're talking about with the Houston Rockets and the Houston Texans being a Spider-Man meme. Hey, Dylan Brooks isn't either. Hey, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I thought that Dylan was going to be a certain way when he got to Houston because of the things that had happened prior to him coming to Houston. Like there was a trail of things that had happened before Dylan got here. We watched him, the way that he handled some of the media, the way he talked to some of the media. We watched him in his battles against LeBron James and, some of the ways that he played. And then Dylan even said when he first got to Houston, I ain't really with the media. I don't really like the media like that. So now you're going in and you're saying to yourself, all right, man, now I gotta watch how I approach him because of his past. right? Because of his past, I got to watch how I approach him. Dylan Brooks is probably one of the most friendliest people you ever want to meet. Dylan the villain on the court is nothing like Dylan Brooks off the court. Dylan Brooks off of the court is totally different. Just like Aziz Al-Shire. Aziz plays with passion. Dylan plays with passion. Both of them want you to know that they're there when they're on the field and on the court. Dylan plays with a lot of passion. We've seen it. We've seen the text. We've seen how he plays. We've seen what he does. We've seen, some of the antics that get him going. But off the court, I've interacted. Last week this is right before Ohio State, 2 weeks ago, right before Ohio State played Indiana in football. However, remember, those of y'all who know Jayshawn Tate played basketball at Ohio State. And y'all know Adam Spolane from Sports Radio 610, who covers the Astros and the Rockets, went to Indiana. So they're having a conversation. Dylan's in the back. Dylan comes out. He hears the conversation and he starts laughing, right? He starts laughing. And he said, and so somebody's like, why are you laughing? He's like, because neither one of those teams are better than Oregon. And he's like, what? He's like, come on now, calm down. Who's number one team in the nation right now? It's Oregon. And then I think that Tari may have said something about LSU, and he's like, stop it. Who's the number one team? And then a whole football conversation started about college football conversation started, right? Then another time they were in there having a basketball conversation, and Dylan Brooks was right in the middle of the conversation just talking. Like, he is not Dylan the villain who everybody wants to paint him to be when they see him on the court. But hey, look, and I can't knock them because they don't have that opportunity to see Dylan like that. Let me give you another personal story. I needed to speak with Dylan about something. It's about 3 weeks ago. I needed to speak with Dylan about something. I needed to ask him a question. And God dang it, what was it? I don't remember what I needed to ask him, but he wasn't speaking to the media that night. He wasn't going to be a part of the media. He wasn't going to be in the media scrum. He had to talk to he did not have to talk to the media. So I asked the PR, hey, you think it'd be okay if I ask Dylan one question for my story? And she was like, no, it's cool if he wants to do it. If he wants to talk to you, then I'm okay with it. Dylan comes out of the back, right? Dylan's on FaceTime he's on FaceTime. I don't know who he's on FaceTime with. Let me not even lie and say I know. He was on FaceTime with somebody. I know he was having a conversation because he had the phone to his face, and I could hear that there was another person on the other end. And so Dylan went to his locker. He was still on FaceTime. He was sitting down. He was like pretty much dressed. He was on the phone. So I walked over and I said, hey, Dylan, PR says that if you're good to answer a question, then if you're okay with it, I have a question I need to ask you. So he tells the person on FaceTime, hey, I'm gonna have to call you back. I gotta do media. Wait a minute, what? Dylan was like, yeah, I'm gonna call you back because I gotta do media. He gets off the phone, sits down, and said, all right, what you got? I asked him the question. Then after I asked him the question, he was sitting there waiting on me to ask him another one. Like, yo, I got time, bro, if you got something else you need to ask. But I only had one question. I only said I needed to ask you a question. So Dylan was willing to talk for however long I needed him. However long I needed him, Dylan was going to do that for me. So that's when I be saying that, having boots on ground, being in these locker rooms, being around these players, talking to these players, you get a different perception. That's why I stopped going back and forth a lot on Twitter and social media in general. That's why, because I'm like, hey, guy, you're trying to debate me from everybody else's points. I'm debating you with an advantage because I have the access. So we're not going to even have this conversation. Let's just talk opinions. We can talk opinions all day. I respect it. I may disagree with it, but I respect it. But we can't have these type of conversations because you don't have the access and the privilege that I have. And so as I digress, that's what I mean by, hey, those two are the same. Those two franchises are the same. And with that being said, that's why Houston sports are back. Because I don't know how much longer the Houston Astros can sustain what they've had from 2017 to 2024 or 2023, because 2024 didn't end the way that they wanted to. But all those ALCS runs, I don't think that they're going to be, and it's cool because it's getting to that point where no dynasty lasts forever. Think about it. Think about the dynasties, and we'll use the New England Patriots, for example. The New England Patriots had a great dynasty. Right now, the New England Patriots are one of the worst teams in the league. Side note, speaking of one of the worst teams in the league, hey, Jacksonville fans, y'all gonna get mad at me for doing this, and you want to know why Sarge keeps, coming at us. He not even a Texans fan. Why does he keep coming at us? Because y'all keep, I, hey, go on back over there where they asking if you like ranch or blue cheese dressing. These Jacksonville fans like, Sarge, why you keep coming at us? You're not even a Texans fan. I get it, but for some of the things that some of y'all are doing and you're associating yourself with, because you've liked, commented, and reshared, retweeted, quoted, whatever the case may be, some of y'all are doing the most. Y'all doing the most by doing what you're doing. So, with that being said, one of the reasons why I keep doing this, because I'm like, why do you keep doing what you're doing? But I got a question. So today, which is Wednesday, I was looking at the standings, right? When I wanted to talk about the Houston Texans, I wanted to make sure that I had the right win-loss record. So I'm looking, I wanted to make sure I had the right win-loss record. I wanted to make sure that they were number one in the AFC South, and I wanted to see where they stood as far as the AFC as a conference. So I'm looking at that. Hey, y'all, you know what? Don't worry about it. This is what I love about Sports Talk with Big Sarge. This is what I love about it. Hey, y'all give me a second. Give me a second. Hey, can y'all tell me what this mean right here? What this little thing mean right here? What this little E mean? Because I see it next to the New England Patriots, who we were talking about, who used to be a dynasty and a franchise. So I see it for New England. I see it for Jacksonville. I see it for Las Vegas. And I see it for the Giants. Like I see it for what this little E right here mean? Oh, they got a glossary at the bottom, y'all. Hold on. W means wins, L means losses, T ties, PCT winning percentage, okay. Home record, away record, divisional record, conference record, total points for, total points against, point differential. That always is a good thing to look at. Current streak, all right. Current win streak, okay. All right. X means clinch playoff berth. Didn't I see that up here for somebody? Oh, Kansas City has already clinched the playoff berth. That's the X. In the Z, I seen a Z. Buffalo has already clinched the AFC East. So you got one team with an X by their name. I now know what the X stands for. Clinched. The Z stands for, clinched playoff berth, meaning that you already, paid your way to get into the playoffs by winning. The Z means you've clinched your division. So X clinched playoff berth, Z clinched division, and the E means, hold on, I ain't got my glasses on, y'all. Somebody help me out. What that say right there? The E mean eliminated from playoff contention. Hold on. Let me make sure. Let me squint a little bit. What am I? You know what? I got my glasses in here. Wait, y'all hold on for a second, y'all. Y'all hold on, because I was able to read everything else good, but now I'm having a little issue. Y'all hold on for a second. I gotta get my glasses, y'all. Hold on. Let me get my glasses because I need to see this, y'all. Let me get my glasses out. Hold on. Gotta clean them up. Clean them up. Let me see what they say now. Hold on, that's still a little dirty right there. Right there. Let's see what they say. E, eliminated from playoff contention. So the E stands for eliminated from playoff contention. And let me see who all got E's by their name. New England, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, and the Giants. Okay. All right. Hold on for a second. Put my glasses back up and put them back over here so I don't lose them. So make sure I got this right. The E stands for eliminated. Stop playing with me. I told y'all I'm one of the pettiest people you're ever going to meet in your life. My petty meter stays on 1,000. Stays on 1,000. E stands for I should have slid earlier. Stop playing with me, Jacksonville Jaguar fans. Stop playing with me. Me. You'll never out petty me. Around here talking about, yeah, but what about the Cowboys? They ain't got no E by their name yet. They ain't got no E by their name. You know what that means? That means that E right there means your season is done. You know what you're playing for now? Draft position. You know what you're playing for? Another number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. You know what your season consists of now? Who can we let's evaluate the other players on our team to see if we're going to keep them in the offseason. Hey, play some of the backups. Because what else you playing for? You know what? I had something totally else to talk about, but we here now. What else you playing for? What else are you playing for, Jacksonville? Tell me. Tell me, fans. What else are you playing for? You got an E by your name. That don't stand for effort. That don't stand for excellent. It stands for egregious. That's what your season has been. That E don't stand for excellent. It stands for egregious. Because y'all are horrible. And I told y'all that. Not all the fans. Some of them come to the realization that that team just ain't no good. Some of them come to the realization. But you keep coming at me. And I told you yesterday, I'm fine with it. Pick y'all off one at a time with it. Don't speak on a family, Crody. It can get deep in here. Wait, don't speak on a family, Crody. It can get deep in the family, Crody. Man, yeah, I like field goal punch out like, but and y'all too. Stop playing with me, y'all. I am petty. And I think petty first and then rational. Well, what's the petty response? Shit, I can't say that. No, you can't say that. You got to say the other thing. Stop playing with me. Y'all got an E by y'all name. Eliminated. It's in the game. What y'all playing for now? To try to sell jerseys? What y'all at this point now, Shad Khan is just taking y'all money. And why are y'all showing up? Because we support our team. But then again, it's something you're used to, right? Only thing is that last year, at least they gave y'all hope to play to the end of the season, thinking that you was going to get somewhere, and then you didn't. Only thing that just happened, that just happened was y'all season got ended a little bit earlier. They let y'all go a little bit earlier. Hell, the NFL. Hey, y'all didn't even get a 2-week notice. Is Florida at will? Hey, can somebody please look this up and drop it in the comment? Hey, is Florida at will state? And at will means that you don't have to give a 2-week notice, and they don't have to tell you tell you 2 weeks in advance that you're fired. They can just fire you. It's at will. Hey, look, you can quit when you want to, and we can fire you when we want to. The NFL said, hey, Jacksonville, we're good. No, hey, look, we're gonna come to Florida. Y'all got some great weather down there, man. We'll be down there. Yeah. No, hey, bro, no problem. Hey, yeah. Who now? Hey, no problem. Yeah, it's in New Orleans, the Super Bowl. Yeah, we can get y'all tickets. You want to go to a playoff game too? No, I'm just saying, you want to go to a playoff game? Now let me know, bro. I got you. I got you. Hey, I know who can get y'all some tickets. John Runyon. Hey, John Runyon got tickets for y'all. John Runyon got tickets for the Jacksonville fans to go to the playoffs. Y'all can sit in his suite. It's gonna be him, Troy Vincent, Roger Goodell, some of them other former NFL players that's the term hypocrites. Like you see, all y'all can sit in the same one together, and then you could tell him and talk to him on a consistent basis about how you're mad. Trying to tell him how you're mad. I don't like what Aziz did. You did right by suspending him and trying to chastise him. You can do it now. You got an E next to your name. E. Stands for eliminated. Y'all gone. Bye. Hey, while we're on this note, and like I said, I ain't try to pick a fight with the Jacksonville fans. This is like the same way the Green Bay Packers fans kept coming at me, and I'm cool with it. But hey, look, hold on. Let me just ask you this. Hey, Jacksonville. You know what? It's Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday. After today, I won't be talking about Jacksonville. I'll be moving on to the Houston Texans' next opponent, which is kind of like playing Jacksonville. I'm moving on to the Houston Texans opponent coming up this Sunday. After I stop talking about it today on today's show, I'm going to move on to the Houston Texans' next opponent on Sunday, which is kind of like the equivalent of playing Jacksonville because the Texans got a bye. They ain't playing nobody. They off. They don't have a team to play. Well, basically, it's like they almost had the last 2 weeks off. Because a bye week is the equivalent to playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's the last thing I'm going to say, Jacksonville. Because now it's just one of those things where I could hear Michelle Obama. Side note, y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me just 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Let me adjust this. Give me 1 second. AD, I see your little horny ass conversation you got going on in the comments. I can multitask. I can do 2 things at one time. I see your little horny ass conversation you got going over here. I see your little light skinned hit list you got going on over here. You said one thing about Neil Long, and next thing I know, you talking about Diamond. You talking about what was T.I. girlfriend name in Roll Bounce? Was T.I. in Roll Bounce? I don't know. You talking about somebody from Fast and Furious? Like I understand. I see your little horny conversation you got going on over there. And the only reason I'm acknowledging your little horny conversation you got going on there, and I don't know why you always wait till sports talk with Big Sarge to have your little horny conversation. Have your little horny conversation on the H-Town Rundown. Why don't you have your conversations over there? Hell no. Because if you had it over there, you know that Swan will cuss you out. Have your little horny ass conversation over there. So the only reason I even said that is because this is gonna be the last time I talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Because Michelle Obama, who looks like she always smells like cocoa butter, Michelle Obama. AD, I'm not joining your little horny conversation you got going on in the comments. I'm just saying, Michelle Obama. Let's just say I can see why George Bush Jr. always want to sit by. I can see why he giggles and snickles and snickers all while he's always around her. I I I could I could see that. I can see why well why that could anyway. Michelle Obama said when they go low, when they go low, we kick them. Ain't that what she said? When they go low, like kick them in the chest back up so you can punch them. When they go low, drag them across the ground. Oh, hold on for a second. I had to put Marcus, you my dude. You know I love you, 50 grand and all. But I had to put you in timeout, man. That conversation was getting a little too wild. Hold on. But we sure he was saying Michelle though, right? Sarge checks himself into petty jail. Right, but what'd she say? What did Michelle Obama say? When they go low, we kick them. No, when they go low, we grab them by their chest and pull them up. When they go low, we grab the back of their shirt and scrub them across the ground. Something to that effect. Something about when they go low, then you drop your knee on their head. Something like that. Wait, hold on now. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh man. Hold on. Oh man. Dang it. I'll fix it. Wait, when they go low, we put an E by their name. So this be the last time I talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm about to get ready to get up off here because we've been on here for a while. Maybe I should start doing like a Twitch. Hey, AD, text me later. I got something I want to run by you. I got something I want to do headed to 2025. This will be the last time I talk about the Jacksonville Jaguar fans, but I do have a question, Jags fans. I do have a question, right? I do have a question. Man, hey, look. No, I wasn't trying. Let me see something, AD. I was trying to delete the comment, the comment that he made, and then all of a sudden it kicked him all the way out. I didn't mean to boot him out. Can he how can he get back in? Hold on for a second. Let me see if I could, because I talked to Marcus. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can get him on the phone. I told y'all I'm here. If you don't want to be here, I'm cool with that. I'm good. Let's see if he's gonna answer. He ain't gonna answer. Dang. Hold on. Bro, wasn't trying to kick you out. This is what I love about this show. I was trying to delete the eating comment. Let's see. All right. I sent him a message. Hopefully he'll get it. How I bring him back? Somebody tell me how I could bring him back. I wasn't trying to boot him. Anyway, Jacksonville fans, I got a question for y'all. I got a question for you. Real quick. Just real quick question. Hey, so what is the difference between Urban Meyer and Doug Peterson? What's the difference? What's the difference? What is the difference between Doug Peterson and Urban Meyer? Hold on, can you? Can you get back in? Can you get back in? Can What's the difference now? Look, Mark, bro. If y'all knew what Marcus said, some of y'all seen what he said. It was I couldn't allow that. Now that's going too far. That's going too far. AD, I blame you. I blame you, AD, because it's your fault because you started it with your horniness. Hey, stop taking blue chew before you come on the stop eating blue chew before you come on the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. Stop eating blue chew, man. Whatever it is you taking over there, the honey packs. How you gonna eat a honey pack? Get a honey pack of some ginseng. Look over there like Bernie Mac on booty call. Got my ginseng. Got my stay on. Now that wasn't on booty call. That was on how to be a player. How to be a player. No, man. Hold on. I'm finna see if he'll do it. Hold on. Call. Let's see if he can call. What is the difference though? Because if you look at okay, of course we know Urban Meyer went 9-8 in his first. I mean, I'm sorry, Doug Peterson went 9-8 in his first season there. Now he's 2-10, and we know that Urban Meyer went 2-11. So if the Jacksonville never wins another game this season, and we know that that's not going to happen. We know that they're going to win a game. We know that they're going to win at least one or two more games and finish the season like 4-13. But like even at 4-13, you're talking about a Super Bowl winning coach that you have on your team, leading your team in your organization, and you have that, and you still y'all still have a bad team. Because now I've moved on from using words like suck and horrible and terrible. I'm done with that. I was just trolling. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was trolling Jacksonville fans. I'm just hopefully it's just friendly back and forth banter. And as fans, you should respond accordingly. I get it. I do the same thing. But what is the difference between Urban Meyer and Doug Peterson outside of the Super Bowl ring? Like Doug Peterson got a Super Bowl ring. I get that part. Urban Meyer has multiple NCAA championships. He's led teams to championships. And so, but if you look at them, like which one of them has progressed the team? Which one of them has progressed the Jackson to progress Jacksonville into another area, another arena? When have they gotten better? Have they gotten better? Rose Sparks. I don't even know what Rose Sparks is. That's what Shannon Sharp take. But what has he done though? What has Doug Peterson done that Urban Meyer hasn't? Texas fans, y'all drop that in the comments. Let me know. Jacksonville fans that are in here, drop that in the comments. Because for as bad as Urban Meyer was character-wise, and he was a character. I mean, not flying home and going to your bar and allegedly fondling that young lady while you were married. You couldn't even go back with your own team. Huh? There you go. What's up, man? See, I ain't booed him all the way out. I tried to delete the comments. There you go. Huh? Welcome back. But outside of the character flaws that Urban Meyer had with the not traveling back with your team, doing what you did in that bar, allegedly, kicking your kicker, hiring somebody as a strength and conditioning coach who was who had racial discrimination lawsuits against him when he was at the University of Iowa. Besides losing the locker room, besides grown men telling you F you, I ain't got to do nothing you say, outside of losing the locker room early, outside of all those character flaws, how different is Doug Peterson on the field than Urban Meyer? Urban Meyer got I think, first of all, he was rated the worst NFL coach ever. I was like, God dang. Urban Meyer went 2-11. Doug Peterson is 2-10 right now. How's he any different? How is he any different? I just want to know. Jags fans, since this is the last time I'm going to talk to you all, because I got to get ready for the Texans bye week, and then I got to get ready for them to play in the playoffs. I got to get myself ready for traveling and covering a playoff team. They ain't got no E by their name. Texans ain't got no E. And for as bad as the Cowboys are, they ain't got no E by their name either. Hold on, let me double check because the Cowboys be tripping sometimes. Nope. Nope. Cowboys don't have no E by their name. Ain't got no E by their name. Even though out of 16 teams in the NFC, they number 12. Wait, hold on. So after the Washington Commanders, right? So Detroit is 11-1, Philly is 10-2, Minnesota is 10-2, Packers are 9-3, Washington is 8-5, and then you got Seattle that's 7-5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 teams in the NFC are 2 or more games above 500. Atlanta is 6-6. Tampa Bay is 6-6. Arizona is 6-6. The Rams are 6-6. San Francisco is 5-7. Cowboys are 5-7. Oh, wait a minute now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, hey, Jacksonville, y'all better hope that some way, somehow, the Cowboys don't find their way into the playoffs or even the playoff hunt. I'll be back pettier than ever. All right, y'all. I gotta get up out of here, but hold on. Y'all know how I do it. Y'all stick with me just a little bit longer. I'm going back to some of these comments that I didn't get a chance to see. Mm-hmm. What an yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Amy. Right. We ain't going on no trips with no exes. Sorry. Corey, I can't wait to the Buzz and Petty Patreon. Oh my God, I ain't got to have you on. You can call in. It's just gonna be me and you talking. Hey, y'all, that's gonna be explicit too. So don't have no women and kids around. And if you got sensitive feelings, do not subscribe to the Buzz and Petty podcast. But if you feel like you can take it, then make sure you subscribe to the Buzz and Petty Patreon. Oh, Tay, that's hilarious. He's still putting meat in them buns. Hey, Amy is coming. I'm just, I've been setting it up, letting people know. Hold on, buddy went to sleep on that trip, and she went to the other room. Ain't no damn way I'm going for any of that. Yep, and yeah. Hold on. Wait, who Alexis got? You talking about our group chat? Because you said we racist. Oh man. Who Alexis got nicknames for? Alexis, who you got nicknames for? Uh-huh. Yep. Exactly. You're right. That's exactly what they did to Aziz. Um, if Trevor stopped any time in the first 20 yards, he would have been fine. But Trevor ran that red light and got hit by that bus. Yeah. Putting this information out there is a dangerous game. You're gonna F around and find out. Folks gotta remember this is still Texas. Mm-hmm. See what Miss Jordan, the folks need anger management when it comes to sports. It's a shame that the results in death threats, racist rhetoric, and wish and everything. Yep. What they fail to realize is these is already covered. No weapon formed against him will prosper. Be thankful. Trevor as well. Yep. Let me see what else. I think the suspension will work in the benefit of the Texans mentally. Nick response sound like they're already taking it personal. Hey, first of all, hello, Senor Boble. When you get a chance, go to the Locked On Texans podcast or to the YouTube page and see what I said at the end of the show. Listen to what I said at the end of the show. SUC all day. I like Swisher House. Don't get me wrong. SUC all day, every day. And because I'm on a great tape. Not rapping, talking, but I'm on one. Can't too many people say they're on a screw tape. I can. So I always say my life is interesting. When I died, the dash in between the year I was born and the year I passed away, that dash in between the middle, mine is gonna be obese for the amount of things that I've done, been around, and people and places I didn't even think I'd ever be. Like there ain't too many people that can say that they're on a great tape. And I'm on a great tape. And like I said, I don't even know how I got there, but I was just there. Man, I know how I got there, but still. Let me see. Yep. Yep. Remember in the off season, when Jag fans calling Texas fans soft, I've been hearing a lot of crying and players and calling players thugs. Which one is it? And I said Trayvon Walker. Hey, mm, mm, mm. Yep. He be close. I'm at Twitter as in for you. Timeline is all Texas NFL tweets. Just thinking about how Texans and supporters he should use their platform to speak inconsistent NFL this. I had to give my wife's ex some of these treatment when we first got together. When he got a little too disrespectful, it's been cool after that. These kids, you put hands on them. Yeah, 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 yeah. What's up, Larry? I don't believe Bobby and D'Amico are beefing at all. D'Amico is the HNIC. Larry, some people don't know what that means. That's head N-word in charge. He doesn't have to beef with his staff. That offense has struggled. I'm sure there's been some tough ass conversations. Larry, you are right. Not just from D'Amico. AD. Hee! Bobby ain't just talking to D'Amico. Bobby's also had some conversations with people way, way, way higher than his pay grade. All right. Get past all the AD little horny comments. What they say? T-Law lost 9 games in a row. He is a bust, a prototypical quarterback body, a lot of height, but average production. So you're saying, Fred, you said he Brock Osweiler? You say he got a prototypical quarterback body. Brock Osweiler did too, right? So did Mark McGuire. What's Mark McGuire brother name? Dan McGuire. Dan McGuire had it. Tim Tebow had it. Yep. They choked. Put the E in Trevor. Oh man. Hey. Yeah, because Petrie don't have no stop button either. Hold on. All right, let me get down to the bottom. Hey, I don't know where they came from. Uh okay. I hope that meant Aziz and you're not trying to be funny. Hold on. Jimmy Ward's right there too. Trevor would still be. Hey, if Jimmy Ward would have blacked out because that's how hard he would have hit. Jimmy Ward wouldn't have laid off of Trevor. You're right. If Jimmy Ward would have hit Trevor Lawrence, it'd have been done. So I wanted to tell the story. Head coach getting fired in the second quarter of a game, then had to have the team speech like nothing happened. And you know what, these skills? I'm gonna tell you. When you tell me about that coach, I'm gonna tell you about an NFL coach who had to do exit interviews with the media, and then as soon as he was done, they fired him. Did exit interviews with the media. answered all the questions about what the franchise is going to look like next year, how you're going to move the franchise forward, how, it wasn't, this year isn't what we thought it was going to be. We thought we'd be a little bit better, but, we're rebuilding. We're going to be better next year coming into the season. We get a couple of off-season acquisitions in here. We got the draft coming up, and then we're going to move forward. So we're just going to see what it's going to be like. I think we have some really good pieces here to be better next year. So I cannot wait to come back next season and help this team get a little bit further than what we did this year. Man gets back to his office later on that day. They fire him, and then you hear about it like the next day, and you like, damn, didn't I just talk to him? Wait, so they made this man come and do, that's the equivalent to making you work all day and then saying, hey, you're fired. Uh, y'all, I have really enjoyed being here. On tomorrow we'll just talk about Nick Casario and how he became gangster. Hey, somebody needs to get in contact with TV Johnny and Paul Wall. D'Amico and Nick need grills. They need grills, especially with the comments that they made. They need grills, and they need peace and chains. They need peace and chains. They need peace and chains. I don't know what peace is gonna be, but they need chains and they need Cal got a grill, don't he? Don't Cal got a grill or a chain? He got one of them. I was there when they gave it to him. But he got a chain. Then he got a chain, peace and chain. Cal may have a grill. I don't know. He seems like he'll wear a grill. Y'all should have seen him when I seen him yesterday. Every time I see him and talk to him, I swear for goodness, when him and I talk, if you walked up and you didn't know who either one of us was, you think that we'd been old friends forever. And then sometimes I could feel people looking at us the way we're talking. When I talk with Hannah like that too. But sometimes people's like could look and they don't even know that I'm talking to like a billionaire. I don't even I respect him as the owner of the Houston Texans. I respect his position like no other. But the man told me to call him Cal. Don't call me Mr. McNair. That was my dad. You ain't got to call me Mr. McNair. Hannah's like, you ain't got to call me Mrs. McNair. You can call me Hannah. We're Hannah and Cal. And you talk to us like you talk to anybody else. So I talked to him. If you didn't know, you walked up, you'd be like, is that Sarge talking to Cal McNair like that? And I'm not talking about disrespectful. I'm talking about like we be laughing, joking. Ain't no telling what we be talking about sometimes. I remember one day, this was during had to be OTAs, and the weather was bad, and we were inside the bubble. We were behind the rope. I was on one end. So they walked in, right? I spoke to Hannah. Cal stopped and started talking to me. And next thing I know, we talking about trucks. And we had the longest conversation about trucks. Nothing about football, nothing about none of that other stuff. We talking about trucks. And at the time, I didn't have my truck. I was getting ready to get my truck. And we had a long conversation about truck. One day we talked about cowboy hats. We talked about everything. Everything. I remember one day I walked into the media workroom and Hannah was in there and she was talking to two of my colleagues. And then I left and went somewhere and came back and she was still in there. And then she got ready to walk out. And then we just started talking about fashion for like 5 to 7 minutes. Fashion. And they treat me the same way when I'm out. Like I'm flexing right now, so I don't care who gets mad at it. They treat me the same way when I'm out. When I see them at the Rockets game, if you look, you be like, is that Sarge over there talking to the McNairs? Yeah. When I see him away from their seats, a couple of weeks ago, well, maybe about a month or two ago, Hannah and I had the longest conversation about flag football. Yeah. I don't even know how I got here. I don't even know why I even brought up Kyle and Hannah McNair. Oh, because I think Kyle has a grill. I know he has a piece and chain. We need somebody start that campaign. Hey, somebody start that campaign. Nick and D'Amico need grills and they need piece and chains. We'll talk about getting them a slab later. Like they may not be ready for slabs. And they not ready. Hey, Nick definitely not ready for a slab. D'Amico, okay. Nick not ready for. He don't even know what a slab is. You can't say no slab. You can't say no. You can't. He don't know what it is. He seen that car. He see the red car that's on Swangers and Vogues, and he just thinks that that's a pretty color and a very good, nice looking car. I was like, bro, you don't know what a slab is? I didn't ask him that, but I'm pretty sure he does not know. Got to get him a piece and chain, a chain with a little vest on it. Oh man. Thank you. 2 hours. Wow. You've been tuning to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. I went to school with Paul Wall and Pyrex, bro. They both went to I didn't know they went to Big Ike. Okay. All right. Yeah, follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel at Big Sarge Media. Follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Because you know we do everything for the gram. And make sure you subscribe to the Locked On Texans podcast. And make sure that you are subscribed to the Locked On Texans podcast, Locked On Texans YouTube page. Oh my God, y'all have had so much fun. It's kind of like I don't want to let y'all go, but I gotta let you go. But it's about to get to a point where these shows ain't gonna be 2 hours and 15 minutes long, but it's gonna be longer than what I've been giving y'all. I tell y'all that right now. I love it. I love it here, Dad. I love it here, Dad. Can I just stay here forever, Dad? I love it here, Dad. Hey, one day we're gonna talk about how. Let me write that down. It's gonna be on Buzzed and Petty. Black parents not letting their kids spend the night at everybody's house. Oh, it's just me. I was the only one that grew up like that. I'm the only one that grew up. Mama said, "You're not spending night in people's house." I don't know them people like that. Then you go over to your aunties. You can go stay with your grandma. Your grandma. You can go to your big mama house. You want to stay? You want to stay over there? No. But she put sodas. She be putting sodas in her trunk, and I can't get to the keys. Big Sarge, I'm out. Wait, I gotta do this. Now I'm out.
Hard work, hard work. Hard work, hard work. Hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work. That's what you say.